Kirby and the Dawgs are absolutely crushing it right now on the recruiting trail, and today they landed a commitment from one of the best offensive tackle prospects in the entire country. Of course, I'm talking about four-star Ekene Ogboko out of South Garner High School in North Carolina. Easily one of the best offensive line prospects across the country. Yes, I know Jackson Cantwell was their number one top guy, but I'm telling you right now, this kid was right behind him. 6'6", 310 pounds, moves like a cat. He's tremendous on film. He's big, he's physical, and he is an absolute bully on the offensive line. Plays some defensive line too. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but he continues to, prove why he is the best in the country. Clemson wanted him, Florida wanted him, Notre Dame wanted him, and at the end of the day, he chose Georgia like we have been reporting for a long, long time. This is a guy that was very high on Georgia's board from the very beginning. He's always liked Georgia. He was in Athens for his big official visit the weekend of G-Day back in April, or at least that was a visit. I think he was back in Georgia for his official visit a couple weeks ago, either May 30th or June 6th. It's all over on Dawg Post. You can read more about that and a lot of other Georgia recruiting notes. You can also watch his highlights from his junior season over on Dawg Post for free. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you grab some popcorn before you turn on those clips, because he is just serving up pancakes left and right for about 6 minutes. And I started to feel sorry for the defenders lining up in front of him, because this guy is an absolute mauler in the run game. He's a really promising pass protector. Again, moves like he's 270 pounds. He's a really good athlete, great footwork, plays with good leverage. He latches onto a defender and drives them backwards out of the play and into the ground over and over and over again. So yeah, there's a reason why Georgia wanted this kid badly. His brother is a defensive lineman for Georgia right now, Ogboko. And again, this is a guy that they've been recruiting for years now. They did a great job, and they've got him on board. They needed an elite tackle or two, and now they've got one of them. He's the number 6 offensive tackle prospect in the country, number 68 overall. So this is a big, big deal. This is Georgia's 7th commitment so far this month, 18th overall, I believe. So yeah, they continue to crush it right now. It's been a giant month of June, and you can make the argument that Ekene Ogboko is their biggest commitment so far this month. So they're on a roll, and this is a massive pickup, and it's much needed, right? They've got their 3 interior linemen, guys that Georgia fans aren't super thrilled about, just, some 3 stars. Graham Houston is a 4-star guard out of Buford. Zachary Lewis is a 3-star guard from North Gwinnett. Zyke Heldon's a 3-star guard out of Carrollton, but Ogboko is one of the best in the country. There is no doubt about it. And again, the clips are fun to watch. If you're a Georgia fan, this is a guy that you should be really, really excited about. Georgia has to bring in elite tackles. That's how you win big games. That's how you win championships. That's how you have excellent quarterback play. You have got to have guys who can protect, but he's a great run blocker as well. He can pull in the run game. He can find those linebackers at the second level. He's athletic enough to hold on to them, not hold on to them, but, grab them and just eliminate them from the play. And he does that over and over again. He's also a playmaking defensive lineman. When they had him on that side of the ball, he made 60 tackles, 26 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. He's just bigger than everyone. He's meaner than everyone. And again, he is really, really athletic for a guy 300 plus pounds. So just a fantastic pickup for the Dawgs, and one that should not surprise you if you've been following my work, if you've been on Dawg Post. This is a guy that we've written about, feels like for years now. Hey, this elite tackle out of North Carolina, he's a guy to keep an eye on. His brother's at Georgia. They've been recruiting him for a while. He's no stranger to Athens, and he knows what it's like, not only during a game day environment, but during Georgia's spring game and in the summer for an official visit. So they rolled out the red carpet, and they got him today. Massive, massive pickup for the Dawgs, and this will, propel them forward in the team rankings class. If you have been following me for a while, I don't really get into all that because I think it's a little overrated where teams are ranked. You just want to get your guys, and sometimes, college coaches don't necessarily agree with where a kid's ranked. They might like a kid ranked number 75 who fits their culture and their program and what they're looking for in their scheme, whether it's offense or defense, more than a guy who's ranked 35th or 30th, right? So if you look at the .coms, they've got their system, but At the end of the day, these coaches have to go out and get their top guys. And while they did miss on Jackson Cantwell, no doubt about it, Ekene Ogboko, again, was right behind him on their board and, is a guy who could turn into a truly elite tackle and a multi-year starter at Georgia. So definitely a guy that Georgia fans need to be excited about. Also, they're not done. Okay, there's a lot of guys who are also scheduled to come off the board very, very soon. And I think Georgia could probably land 1, 2, maybe even 3 more commitments in the month of June. So Kamari Brooks is a guy who's coming off the board soon. I posted a video yesterday talking about how he is coming or going to commit soon. And he came out yesterday saying that he is going to commit on June 23rd. So, similar to what I've been saying, what I've been reporting, I knew it was coming soon. And he announced that June 23rd, he will make his commitment between Georgia and Alabama. One of the best pass rushers, not only in Georgia, but across the South. This would be another massive, massive get for the Dogs. He made 131 tackles last year for North Oconee, a program right outside of Athens. 17 tackles for loss, 13 sacks, 3 pass breakups, 1 interception, so we can bat those balls down at the line of scrimmage, but he forces fumbles, he recovers them, and then got after the quarterback 24 more times, 6'4", 235, another really athletic kid with violent hands who just lived in the backfield last year. Just the number 17 edge defender and number 115 overall. If there's 16 edge defenders better than Kamari Brooks, that's something, because this kid can get after it and really, really play. I've liked where Georgia has sat with him for a long time now. I think Alabama gave him a lot to think about. Alabama would not shock me, but it would surprise me. I'm not ruling out the Tide for any defender, right? But this kid's a local guy. He's been at Athens a ton. Georgia offered him, I think, almost 12 months ago. I think it was early in the fall last year, so around 9-10 months. And they made him a big priority. So I do think Georgia sits in a good spot for Kamari Brooks, who comes off the board June 23rd. Another guy to keep a close eye on. Again, Craig Dandridge, the 4-star wide receiver out of Cambridge. Could be the best wide receiver in the state when it's all said and done. When those final rankings come out, it feels like they come out every week or two, right? But when they're finally out and all said and done, Craig Dandridge could be the best wide receiver in the state of Georgia. And I think Georgia sits in a really good spot for him. He's coming off the board, making his commitment June 26th, 6'1", 175, again, in that Alpharetta, Milton area. Was one of the more productive wide receivers across the state last year. Caught 58 passes for 1,443 yards and 14 touchdowns. Really good speed. He's dangerous after the catch. He can go up and make a tough catch in the air and traffic. So he's got great hands, ball skills, but he is so elusive and can outrun defenders with ease in the area. So, his highlights are fun to watch too. Check those out. Georgia offered in January, and over the spring, he shot up Georgia's board from what I've been told. So he is a big time kid. Oklahoma, I think, is still in the mix. Tennessee, a few other schools, Stanford, Georgia Tech. But I do think the Dogs sit in a pretty good position for him. 4-star wide receiver from Cambridge High School. Again, he comes off the board June 26th. Desmond Green is an offensive lineman who also makes his commitment on June 26th. That's a guy that I thought Georgia was trending for a long, long time. Feels like this is coming down to more of South Carolina and Florida. Again, Georgia's got 3 interior offensive line commits already. They don't necessarily need to take another. Just haven't heard the same amount of buzz with 3-star Desmond Green as I have in the past. But he's coming off the board, I guess, next week. A guy to keep an eye on, but I don't think he is leaning Georgia's way this second. We'll see if things change. Malachi Lee is another offensive tackle. He plays in Hawaii. That's a guy that Georgia would love to bring on board. It's going to be Georgia, Texas, Michigan, or Alabama, and he will be making his decision June 27th. So again, a lot of guys coming off the board within the next week or two. It's commitment season. Guys are wrapping up their official visits, and this is a guy, even though he plays in Hawaii, that Georgia fans need to keep a close eye on. He was the one who was in Athens for his official visit that weekend in mid-April for G-Day. Ekene Ogboko was there, but that was not his official visit. Malachi Lee was in town for a big official visit, but he was also in Athens this past weekend again for an unofficial visit. That told me a lot about where Georgia sits with him. Stacey Searles went out to Hawaii twice this spring to go see him, which says, again, that says a lot about where they sit with him. He's the number 11 offensive tackle, 6'7", 310, just a big, massive giant of a young man. And I think Georgia's in a decent spot here. I'm not saying they lead, but they are in the mix again for one of the best offensive tackles in the country. Today, they did land one of the best offensive tackle prospects in the country, like we've been reporting. High 4-star, borderline 5-star, Ekene Ogboko commits to Georgia today again over Clemson, Notre Dame, Florida, and basically many other programs. Massive, massive get for the Dogs. You can read more about him and watch his highlights for free over on dawgpost.com. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you over on the website.